Are you ready to unlock your child's potential? Find the perfect blend of learning and fun at MrBTheTeacher.com. Start with his 3 award-winning books, Guidelines for the Successful Student, a closer look at parenting your school-age child. The Essential Speller, The Feller, and humorous and engaging reading like My Coconut Head. All on sale at Amazon.com. But the learning doesn't stop there. Make any subject fun with the catchy, curriculum-based tunes from Mr. B's Beats for Brains. Please enjoy this sample.
Can you count in twos? I will count with you. Can you count in twos? I will count with you.
2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 5 is 10. 2 times 6 is 12. 2 times 7 is 14. 2 times 8 is 16. 2 times 9 is 18. 2 times 10 is 20. 2 times 11 is 22. And 2 times 12 is 24. Can you count in twos? I will count with you. Can you count in twos? I will count with you. Listen. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, and 24. Can you count in twos? I will count with you.
Is your child ready to see real academic growth? For personalized expert tutoring, connect with Mr. B through Varsity Tutors. Details are at MrBTheTeacher.com. That's MrBTheTeacher.com, your partner in learning success.
You're listening to A Teaching Moment with Mr. B.
Good day, everyone, and welcome to A Teaching Moment with Mr. B. And I'm going to tell you about my award-winning book, Speller the Feller. Speller the Feller is a book that I won the International Impact Book Award in November of 2025. I am so thrilled because this book was the first children's story that I've ever written. So I'm going to tell you and take you behind the scenes of what inspired me to write Speller the Feller, my award-winning book. It is one of my 2 children's books. And today I'm going to take you behind the scenes and share what inspired me to write this book, what it's all about, what young readers and families can expect, and how this story earned the International Impact Book Award in 2 categories, namely the Children's Education and Children's Inspirational Educational categories. I will share who I want to acknowledge, and I'll end with an important call to action. So let's dive in. First of all, I'm going to tell you what inspired me to write this award-winning book, Speller the Feller. The inspiration behind Speller the Feller goes back way beyond my 25 years in the classroom, working with students from every background and ability level. Actually, this book was written by me in 1997 when I was working in the YMCA after-school program in South Florida. In that program, I'd given students the task of helping me to write a story or helping me to create a story. They drew some pictures back then, and I had it in a hard construction paper style, and I wrote the words for this book that became Speller the Feller after I rewrote it. And actually the lesson was that we were going to create this story together and that they were going to be part of something, this literary experience. And I found that the students enjoyed my creativity of writing this story about Speller the Feller, the main central character in this story. And they were to help me by drawing some pictures at the time in 1997 in the after-school program. So I give them credit for encouraging me with my first book. I've taught students now this inspiration, this book, the common theme in this book is about encouraging students who are trying to get somewhere on their journey. I wanted to create a character who reflected that journey, a character who reminds children that learning is not just about perfection, it's about persistence. And that's how Speller was born. And the idea is that I will create this adventurous, fun story that also teach spelling, phonics, and reading and writing skills all in one. I've taught students who struggled with confidence in reading, spelling, phonics, vocabulary, and in believing in themselves. I've also taught students over the last 25 plus years who just needed someone to see their potential. So in 1997 is when I actually first came up with the concept. And I was doing this as part of my general teaching class experience in a school when I was before I went for my internship to become a teacher 26 years ago. And the teacher in the classroom who was observing me, because I had to go to visit a school to be observed. And funny enough, the comment that she wrote on this evaluation, which I still have in front of me, is, "Excellent." This is my performance. "Excellent," she says. "They really enjoyed the book. You ought to try to and publish it and submit it to a journal and explain what you did with it." And funny that almost 30 years later, I could come before you and announce that I have published this book. I have made this book come alive. I have made this story come alive by publishing it myself and getting illustrations done and able to submit it and post it on Amazon. And it's now become an award-winning book through the International Impact Book Awards Committee. Now, what is this book all about? You might wonder. Speller the Fellow follows the journey of a boy named Speller who dreams big but struggles with spelling and reading. He wants to be great, but the challenges he faces shakes his confidence. Through encouragement, grit, and guidance, Speller learns that mistakes don't define him. Instead, they guide him toward improvement. Along the way, he discovers tools, strategies, and truths about learning that help him grow. The book blends storytelling with educational reinforcement. It teaches reading principles, models resilience, and empowers children to keep going even when learning gets tough. I always encourage my students to keep going, to be persistent, to never give up. And here's what it says at the back of the book. I'll give you a little synopsis of the story itself. It says, this is a story about two childhood friends who lived in the same neighborhood and became best friends after Shawana, storyteller, saved Speller the Fellow from an alligator near their homes. A friend in need is a friend indeed. We all have unique skills in life which can be helpful to others. Anyone can save someone else's life, so we should always reach out and help someone else who is in need. This story is intended for families and students in all age groups. And the concepts taught in this book are rhyming words, repetition words, words with ER and ED endings, suffixes ER, ED, spelling and sorting, friendships, cause and effect relationships, individual skills, individual talents, teamwork, bravery, heroism, acts of kindness, and needs. So the two central characters, Speller the Fellow and Shawana storyteller, both serve as metaphoric characters to demonstrate the relationship between spelling and reading and sorting words and making them become part of the language arts writing structure. So there is a direct correlation between spelling and reading, and so there is this direct positive relationship between Speller the Fellow and Shawana storyteller, and one helps the other, and they go hand in hand. So through this adventurous story, I tell about the adventures of Speller the Fella and how he overcame being challenged by the alligator that was in the neighborhood lake, and how Shawana came to rescue him, just like spelling and sorting with reading, that if you learn how to decode words, you will be able to read better. So it serves as a metaphor. So I'm using storytelling with educational reinforcement to teach some life principles about friendship, heroism, acts of kindness, and needs. So it is available on Amazon, through the website mrbetheteacher.com, or if you go into the Amazon, you could actually purchase it from there. So I'm very happy to share this award-winning book, Speller the Fella. Now, what can readers expect from this book when they read it? Children who read this book can see themselves in Speller the Fella. We all struggle. We all go through struggles in life. And students are no exception. The students who read this book will learn about perseverance and growth mindset. They will learn the power of good study habits. They will also learn how to build confidence in reading and spelling. Understand that success comes from effort, not perfection, and that mistakes are stepping stones, not roadblocks. Parents, teachers, and tutors will appreciate that this book includes educational value baked into the narrative. It's uplifting, it's classroom-friendly, and it opens conversations about learning, emotions, and resilience, which are very important traits to have in this world that we live in. Now we come to the point of, well, how did Mr. B the Teacher win the International Impact Book Award for this book? And what did I win them in? One of the greatest honors in my career came when Speller the Fella won the International Impact Book Award in 2 categories. In the children's education category, we won that award. And also in the children's inspirational educational category, we won this award. Receiving this recognition meant so much to me, not just as an author, but as a lifelong educator. It showed that the story's message resonates. It confirmed that children around the world need encouragement, inspiration, and reminders that they are capable learners. And it proved that the work that we do as educators matters deeply. So winning this award was very special to me because, as I said, my first concept of it came in 1997 when I was working with aftercare students ranging from 1st to 5th grade at the time in the after-school program, and I was one of the leading senior group leaders. And it's amazing that this book has come to life now, and I was able to bring it there to life. And there are 5 categories in which a group of authors and writers at the International Impact Book Award judges these books, which includes content, creativity, writing style, and content. So I am pleased to announce that my book, Speller the Fella, is one of these books that won the award. So I would like to end and conclude this podcast by acknowledging the many people who helped make Speller the Fella possible in the first place. I would like to first of all thank my family, my wife, my parents, and everyone who supported my journey. I would also like to thank my students, past and present, who inspired the very heart of this book, particularly those students who were in my YMCA after-school group in 1997 when I first came up with the concept of Speller the Fella. I also would like to thank my fellow educators who encouraged me to keep teaching, including Miss Colgate, who at the time was my clinical observer, to keep writing and keep dreaming. And many fellow educators have encouraged me to keep writing and keep dreaming. My editor, which is myself, illustrator, and the publishing team, which I self-published this book. I would like to thank Amazon for publishing this book, Spell of the Fella, and helping me to be able to put it on their platform. And finally, to every parent, teacher, and child who has picked up this book, and this is the reason why it exists. So I would like to thank all of you for your support with this book. And it's available as part of MrBeTheTeacher.com, the books of one of 3 award-winning books that I've written. And I'm going to be talking about my 3rd award-winning book in the next podcast, named My Coconut Head. And finally, my call to action for you is that if you haven't already, I invite you to get a copy of Spell of the Fella from Amazon and also through my website, MrBeTheTeacher.com, and read it with your children. You could use it in the classroom. You could share it with students who need a boost of confidence. And if the message that I've explained resonates with you, please leave a review, recommend it to your friends and family, students, and other stakeholders, teachers, and you could donate a copy to your school or library. Please feel free. Your support helps reach more children who need hope, encouragement, and belief in themselves. And don't forget to stay connected with me, Mr. B the Teacher, on the social media and through my tutor and educational service platform at MrBeTheTeacher.com. Together we can empower young learners everywhere. And as this African proverb says, it really takes a village to raise a child. Thank you so much.